Hi everyone, I'm Megan Benanti and I have your reading for you today. So this reading is going to be for our Temperance Hierophants. And that means if your birthday adds up and reduces to 14, that is the Temperance card, and then 1 plus 4 equals 5, which is the Hierophant card. So for all my Temperance Hierophants, this reading will be for you, and it's for January of 2021. So we are ready to kick off a new year. All right, so to begin with, the focus for this month for you, on a personal level, you just don't seem to quite feel fully prepared, and that's okay. I still think things are shifting for you in the background. You're kind of coming out of December, which was really challenging for many of us in very different ways. And there's a lot happening, and it just seems like a lot to keep up with. And so I want you to just kind of keep your center and your attention on taking care of yourself to the best of your ability. You're not going to be able to, it's going to be very hard to manage the dynamics of all the people you care about in your life. And so that's coming up here. And I just want you to know that if it's not perfect, that's okay. It's going to be enough for January. So allow yourself some wiggle room in there. Now, those of you that are working in your career sector, it feels like some of you are being somewhat either underwhelmed or possibly overwhelmed. And this card I can read both ways energetically. It's just, there's a lot coming at you. What I'm feeling is actually probably most of you are feeling overwhelmed. Things are coming at you. It doesn't feel like it's normally your job, but you've got to deal with it anyway. And so that's adding added stress. It's adding some resentment on your part. For those of you that feel like, and the part I think that I'm seeing as being underwhelmed is that it doesn't interest you. You're not actually focusing on things that have a lot of meaning or interest, and maybe they're not normally in your job description, but due to the circumstances, you're having to deal with them. There is going to be more of that in January. So even if you're like, well, I'm already doing that, believe me, there's something coming in and it's like, what the heck? How did I get this? So you just be aware and be open and be prepared for that. And I know as Temperance Hierophant, you have your path. You like to know what you're doing, what's expected of you. And so this is like, oh wait, that's not part of my plan. And that can be really frustrating. So just be flexible and be open. This month it feels like it's going to be a little counterintuitive for you because you guys do tend to want to be super organized and that kind of thing. And this is really saying that you're going to have to go with the flow, and it's going to be not super tidy. And I know that's going to stress some of you out. Especially, my Temperance Hierophants are my ones that can be a little bit OCD. Now, there are other people on the opposite spectrum of that, but for the most part, a lot of you are going to be on the pretty tidy side. Okay, now what you can accomplish this month. Oh, I love this. Super positive attitude. It's like, yes, it's a new year. It's a new you. You seem excited. There's some great enthusiasm, and I feel like you can just roll through this January with this kind of energy and enthusiasm. And I want you to know this is a good time for you to also push boundaries and limits in your personal life. It's like, oh, maybe it's buying something that's normally out of your comfort zone, or decorating in some way that's a little bit different, but I really think this is going to be a lot of fun for you. So, in your personal life, have fun, play hard, socialize, be out there. Don't forget to wear a mask. But do this in a conscientious way, because we do need to be responsible and not get anybody sick, and we don't want you getting sick either. So. But lots of playfulness and good times here. If you have kids, it might be that there's a lot of focus on the kids and they're back to school and being successful and having a good time with them, which is always nice because it's so not fun when you're not having a good time with your children. And you got to be the disciplinarian. I know all the moms out there get that, and dads. All right, now work. Okay, so there's going to be some conflict at work, and it's how you navigate this. Now, part of this might be there's a tough decision to make and it's left on your shoulders and you've got to deal with it. And I want you to know you totally can, but you're not wanting to deal with it. And so that's part of that. There might also be a little bit of a social dynamic that's gone askew in there. You know, either there's like a weirdness with a friendship or a colleague and you're like, why am I always uncomfortable around this person? And why do I always have to be the one who makes the sacrifice? And so, you know, I feel like so as I'm looking at this, as I'm describing this, it feels like there's maybe even some resentment in there around this person and the fact that it's never really a good fit with this person. And that's an unfortunate thing in life, especially if you guys have to work closely together, because you do have to build some kind of long-lasting relationship. And, you know, so I think this will be a good time to think about how you might want to manage this differently. So, give yourself some wiggle room. Don't be afraid to maybe get some outside counsel on like, hey, what would you do in this kind of situation? If you have a coach or a mentor person, this could be a good opportunity to get some assistance in navigating that. So, challenges for you. Not so bad. In personal life, it's really being positive. It's making the most of what you've got. It's finding pleasure in the little things. You know, and for some reason, I also feel like it might be a little bit challenging to relax. Oh, and this is actually coming up in the bedroom. So, I'm not sure what's going on for you there, but it's just, it's kind of intense and it's like you're stressed and you're not able to relax into the position, and maybe it's time to try a different position or abstain for a little bit or see what else is going on. You know, and I know how the ladies are. You might, you know, when you're in the bedroom, it's not the time to be writing your grocery list. But I know you can do it because women multitask and that's what we do. But I feel like your head is not in that physical moment with your partner, and I want you to get your head back into the game. And so really reconnect intimately with your partner, because I think that's part of the problem is you're not feeling connected and you're feeling like you have to have sex, and it's like, it's making it miserable for you. Otherwise, there might be something going on downstairs and that's making things problematic. And so I want you to just kind of be aware of that and take care of yourself in that way. Also, just for those of you that are drinkers, just watch it on overdoing it in January. There might be some heavy drinking for some of you, and I want you to know that it's showing up that would be a challenge, not a positive. So it might be time to cut back. All right, now work. Oh, good. Okay, so I mentioned the decision making before. Your judgment is so on it here. And so you've really got this great time of decision making and seeing the bigger picture. And I want you to know that this is going to bring more solidity to the company. Now, it might also bring some solidity to whether or not you want to be there still, because there is a sense of maybe thinking about breaking away. And I don't feel like there's a full decision left made because there's a lot kind of hanging out in the shadows here. And it's like, do I see myself here? Do I not see myself here? What would be my next position in the company? Where is this taking me? And so there's some real ideas about maybe what a breakaway might look like for you, but I don't know that you have to take that yet. And I definitely think that there's a situation here where you can do some healing within the company or within how you're dealing with business. And that it's just laying out beautifully. So trust your instincts on this, because I feel like this is coming forward for you. And it's a challenge that you're supposed to go through. All right, now surprises. Isn't that interesting? So, wow. Okay. So, Temperance Hierophants, you've had a 9, a 19, a 9, and another 9, which is the Hermit. And so, you know, for one of the things you might not expect to have this month is alone time, and that you actually feel like you're working on your path and on your journey. And the interesting thing is, it's not about moving forward in this case. Like, you know exactly where you are, and it's like, okay, this is where I need to be, and I'm actually making the progress I need to be making in my personal life and my own self-growth. I do see a strong sense of healing that's coming from you, heart and solar plexus area. So with that, some things are going to be breaking through for you that are really tough. Or actually, it might not be tough, but it's like things are falling away. It's like this whole aha moment, and things just open up and new ideas can emerge from that. And so, you know, just know that whatever breakthroughs you're going to have, they're going to be big. And it's very personal, so it might be one statement, and it's subtle, but it's like, wow, okay, wow, that seems profound, and you just needed this. I feel like you've got a good sense of family and comfort that's backing you up. I think, you know, you're looking at your own family and where that's going, though. You know, if you want one, if you already have one, and it's like, what's the growth that's happening here? And you're trying to kind of navigate this. But this really seems quite positive to me. And don't be afraid of alone time. I feel like you're going to have some more alone time, and I think you needed that after last month. And your Temperance side requires alone time. So this is that recharging of your batteries. And kind of, you know, it's walking your walk and talking your talk. And I feel like you've got good ownership of this at this point. Now, one of the things I think that you're going to find surprising is there's something coming forward with your work that you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. Or, holy cow, I thought I'd be great at this and I'm completely not skilled in this way. And that's okay. I think that as you go through this, you're going to really define if you want to be doing this or if you need to learn more to do this better. Because there's definitely a sense of like, you are not one of the crowd. You've got to do things in your own stride, in your own rhythm. But it's very important for you to feel like you're a master at what you're doing. And this is almost like it's calling you back to being a student, and you were like, oh, I thought I had this. I don't have this. Luckily, your Hierophant energy is so great at working in that dynamic. You can lead and you can follow. This might be really a call for you to follow, and it's like, I don't think you were anticipating that, but you can definitely adjust to that. And so just go into it with an open mind about how you can grow in your work life. Okay, now, as far as what you're going to bring to the table, or what you can bring to the table in your relationship, you seem hesitant. And I think there's a part of you that's like, I've done enough. I need to kind of step back. And so maybe some of you are single and you're like, yeah, there's not really anything I need to go forward in relationships. But know that these are all kinds of relationships. It's not just a significant other. This can also be about, you know, a family member, a best friend, someone else that you care about, a colleague. And I feel like you're stepping back a little bit. And so maybe part of this is the energy to let your partner shine. And it's like, okay, I'm going to be here for you. I'm going to be committed, and I'm going to be loyal, and I'm going to I will be consistent, and you can move forward in whatever way you need to move forward, because I'm not going anywhere. And so know that that's going to be really the greatest gift you can give this person that you care so much for this month. Now, as far as your own self-care, Holy cow, you need to focus on that. And you, for whatever reason, you've been looking at your self-care as like it's all this, it's all black or it's all white. It's all this or it's all that. And I was like, oh, no. You need to make time for something in here. And you're like, but I don't have time. Yes, you have time. And it doesn't need to be massive amounts of time. It can be a hot bath before bed, which is going to help you sleep more deeply and let your muscles relax, and then you get more intense sleep. It could be drinking a hot tea that would, perhaps enhance your sleep. Really random. Some of you need to clean out your ears. That's your self-care. If you're not a regular ear cleaner, it's time to get the wax out of there. I know that's gross, but that's coming up. For some of you, you just need to schedule some time for you. And I think really there's such an emphasis on you have to make this time. If you don't, it really won't happen on its own. And so you have to give yourself that love. And, Temperance is angelic energy. So maybe it's a moment of prayer or contemplation or just sitting with an open mind, and you can set the timer for 6 minutes or 5 minutes. It doesn't have to be a 30-minute meditation. It's like, okay, God, please just help my mind to quiet down. Surround me with white light and let that move through me and clear out any impurities within my system. And it's so magical. That can just happen and move through you and really make such a difference. And I think that is part of it. It's like, for you, darkness is the equivalent of busyness. And so, because that's our ego. Our ego says we need to be busy. Accomplishment equals busyness. And that's actually not true at all. That's just ego stuff. So, acknowledge the beauty in calm and the beauty in doing nothing for a moment. So that's part of going to be your time there and how you heal. The other thing I want you to look at is how you're going to pay it forward this month. Okay, it's going to be, I feel like you're doing some random unexpected things. And for you, it's not just going to be one thing. I have some weird disconnects that I'm looking at, and I was like, oh, okay, it's a little of this and a little of that. Maybe it's when you're checking out at the grocery store, you add a donation on, when they ask for that for the local community service, whatever it is, it's usually $1 to $5. Maybe it's some of that. It might also be offering, to help somebody unload their groceries that seems like they're having a hard time with it. It's reaching out to someone who needs a conversation. Maybe it's someone you haven't talked to before or talked to in a long time. Maybe it creates some closure or just connection there. But I feel like you're tapping into different things, and it's like, okay, yeah, I'm doing my good deeds. And, it doesn't have to be a real rhythm. I just feel like you're doing lots of random good deeds for people. And it's sporadic, and it's creative, and it's impulsive, and it's just offering help when you see that opportunity. And I think that's going to be a wonderful way to do it, especially for this month of January. All right, Temperance Hierophant. So I hope that was helpful for you. Please feel free to post any, constructive comments or feedback that you've got for me below. Also, anything maybe you want me to focus on or look at in the future, I'm happy to kind of tap into those. I'm new to YouTube. Been doing this on Instagram weekly for a while. You can follow me at Megan Benanti there. And I do charm readings every Friday. And you can also book with me at tarotdallas.com if that's something you would like to have a personal reading. But please just subscribe. Help me get on board with this and tell me what you think. All right. Thanks, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.